Hey guys, it is the week 11 update on this account. We haven't got a huge amount to report from last week, but we've got some stuff. First up is ships. We got to the requirements for the Tarkin event, but they're just not strong enough yet. So it's going to take me a little bit of time, to be honest with you. First order TIE Fighter, I kind of just blitzed every time I saw in the store this week, and it made my last 4-star one to upgrade Tarkin himself. The ships themselves just aren't there. The plan will be level these 4 best I can through the week. If the TIE Advanced turns up in the shop, because I'm really close to finishing it, if it turns up once or twice, then I just unlock it, drop the first order TIE Fighter for now, and get through on those 5. But that is a plan that's in the works. Tarkin himself was 7 stars, I believe, last week. We are well on the way to 7-starring Leia as well. And after Leia, we'll be moving in that store onto, I believe, Kanan. Yeah, Leia is 80 shards off the end, and then it's on to Kanan Jarrus. Once I have Kanan done, I think SWGOH is the play for Grand Arena, because I've used him with an Omicron before, and it's just disgusting. He's impossible to put away, and it's a beautiful thing. Over here, we're waiting out for Biggs' ship most of the time. Sometimes I throw some stuff into Zeb, because we'll need him for the Ghost. That's about it. Here, we're camping out for TIE Advanced, as I said. I got a bunch of guild currency in the last couple of weeks, and it has been a huge help. Last week, we were just about to unlock Han Solo, and this week, thanks to the rather generous supply of, we call this Get 1, Han Solo is 70 shards off being 7 stars. So we'll have him finished pretty quick. I meant to say it when I was on the ships. Raven's Claw is leveled on par with the rest of the squad, and it is a game changer. I've been able to punch up. I got inside the top 50 a couple of times, which is, it's not sustainable just from the sheer amount of hyperdrive accounts. Now the gap is closing. Same in Arena, there's some level 85 teams that I can punch now and come away winning, but simultaneously in Arena there's teams now that I would have beaten while leveling that have access to transformative Zetas and that kind of stuff. Like I blitzed through Iden Versio teams while I was leveling up, and now with the Iden Zeta, it's actually pretty tough to get past that with Admiral Radis. That's kind of where we're sitting at the moment. Still kind of playing the end game by ear. I took a look there at the requirements on a couple of events that I was eyeing up. In terms of characters, we are getting there for pretty much everyone that's needed for Executor. Piet is in the works. I believe I might have got him to 6 stars, but I at least have him at 5. Yeah, he's at 5 at the moment. Old Ben will be finished, hopefully in the next 24 hours. Double drops have been kind. I've gotten Nisa to 4 stars. She won't get to 5 before it ends. Same with Captain Rex. I don't think Captain Rex is going to get to 5 stars before this is over, but he has a node. It won't take that much to get him there, and I plan on using him to get Thrawn. Just to have another capital ship that isn't the Endurance, in case it's needed at some point. In terms of the overall plan though, we're still kind of waiting and seeing. Leia could be awesome. She could also be decent. So I'm not rushing into a Leia farm. I'm not deviating away from the original Jabba plan just yet. But I'm really open to it, because a lot of the stuff that I'm enjoying since I started this account has been on the sort of rebel side of it. Like the Admiral Radis team is super fun. The rebel fleet is super fun. Phoenix I always used and didn't really like, I found their damage to be quite lacking, but Captain Rex seems to be an absolutely transformative character for the Phoenix team. So this is kind of the things that I've been eyeing up, but only in the thinking about stages at this point. I will have to get Biggs, I will have to get Wedge for profundity, if that's something I wanted to do, or Jedi Knight Luke, I believe, needs Wedge as well. For threes at least, they could be in there with Saw, and that's a pretty big deal. I know the end of that team is Chase, and I didn't really want to chase those two characters right now, so we'll wait and see with that one. That's not really high priority. This, however, is something I'm taking an interest in. Snowtrooper kind of self-farms because he comes out of the Bronzian packs, but this is a team that I may invest into once I hit 85. I don't think I'm going to touch it until I hit 85, just because the cost of keeping up with levels is a bit prohibitive to having a bunch of teams. But that is a team I'm liking the look of. Now that's 4 out of 5 Remnant, just because Death Trooper would saturate an already saturated place of things I need to farm in the Cantina nodes, and I just don't have the crystals to be doing multiple refreshes of that a day at the moment, so I slot in Snowtrooper there for the moment. He may stay there permanently, but obviously Scout prefers to have a full team of Remnants, so we'll have to look at that. But that would cover 2 assault battles out of 8, with Inquisitors covering another 2, and Rebels I'm kind of spoiled for choice to cover. It could be done with the Phoenix team, it could be done with CLS, it could be done with the Admiralis team, which is what I'm currently using for it, and that's a lot of resources. Phoenix, obviously, we've already discussed. I would prefer to have Ezra in this spot, but again, farm saturation on the Cantina nodes, I just don't know when that will happen. Whereas Zeb, I'll need for the Ghost. He's going to be there. He'll ultimately get replaced with Ezra, but for the moment I think that'll be just fine. And Chopper is in a place where there's not as much competition for my farming resources, so that seems like a smarter plan. San Staros seems like a fairly logical pickup for me. I'm going to have Kara anyway for BAM. I'm going to have Stormtrooper Han anyway for CLS. I'm going to have Captain Han Solo and Lando at some point because they're both needed for Jedi Knight Luke, which feeds into both JML and Jabba, which was the whole plan in the first place here. So that is a team that might just appear. Now the reason this is Lando and not Rolo may change. I'm going to test them both in that spot. But Lando getting to AoE again on crit, and the way that interacts with San is suspicious, may just result that Lando's just AoE in every turn, which could be pretty awesome. So that's the theory crafting behind it, but that also could be just fine with Rolo, so we'll have to see. I'm pretty sure there'll be an Akbar team full of just rebels that are left over for Grand Arena, and if Lando's not in this one, he's gonna be in that one. Mon Mothma, this is sort of revised Mon Mothma team when I take some characters off it, like Biggs over to Saw and Kara over onto the Sana team. So that's what I'm figuring is going to slot into those. Again, characters that don't have a huge amount of competition in where I farm them. So that could come together. C-3PO will ultimately be needed for Jedi Knight Luke, and 3 of these characters in Chirpa, Nisa and Wicket are all required for Leia. So these are kind of flex slots at the moment. I know these are probably better than the likes of Scout, Teebo or Elder, but Elder and Scout are on the same node. So if it ends up that I have a surplus of hard node energy, which in fairness is unlikely, rather than Cantina or Guild Shop currency, I may just end up slotting in the hard node farms instead, but this would be my preferred Ewok team for that event. Hopefully by then we'll be able to farm Nisa and I'll be able to finish that. Mandalorians is more of a loose concept. I noticed after having BAM so sort of central to the whole plan the entire time, yet never actually having a squad that I was going to put BAM into, something like this may materialise. Now, it's equally likely if I do end up powering for Jabba rather than Leia. that BAM is going to fit in a squad with Fennec Shand, and the intention for it would be to build the non-GL counter to Lord Vader, but that's pretty far down the line compared to where we're sitting right now. So that's a team that I wouldn't mind having, because they're all characters I like, and the longer I play this account, the more I'm sort of skewing towards stuff I enjoy rather than the most effective, and I figure that's eventually the way it's going to go. But I'm trying to maintain efficiency as well. I've looked at what's required for the Profundity and the Executor. I'm well on the way towards at least unlocking all the individual components for each one. For Executor, obviously, can't do it all until 84, and I'm able to farm Bosk. But for the most part, stuff is materialising. I don't have Hera for the Profundity farm yet, but I will be getting her for the Ghost and that Throne event anyway. Just kind of tight for energy in the hard notes right now. But yeah, that's where we're sitting for this week. The plan is getting a little bit more free flow as time goes on, as you can probably tell. But I'm also having more fun as time goes on. So, mission accomplished for me. If you're enjoying the content, like, subscribe, you know the drill. And thanks for listening. See you this time next week.